In this video, you will learn how to prepare for a teamfight before it breaks out and what to do during the teamfight. Some things you'll learn are knowing who's the carry on your team, who will be a threat to your carry, what things you can do about it, and some important details such as timing the enemy flashes and positioning. What does Karma's support want to do in teamfights? The key thing Karma wants to do in teamfights is to focus her spells on protecting her allies from damage, so they can deal more damage because their allies survive for longer. In teamfights, Karma is usually positioned in the backline or in the middle of her teammates, to be in range of her abilities to peel her teammates, usually outside of the range of enemy threats, because she is squishy and doesn't buy much items to make her more durable. We do this because Karma doesn't actually deal much damage on her own. Her main damage comes from her mantra Qs. The problem about that ability is that the ground explosion part of it is very easy to avoid, and she will miss out on a significant chunk of her damage unless they are already hard CC'd, for example her W snare. At level 6, with 3 points in Q and 2 points in R, when Karma hits both parts of her mantra Q, she is able to deal up to 410 base damage with a 130% AP ratio. Without the explosion, the mantra Q damage decreases to 270 base damage with a 70% AP ratio. Here's a table that shows total base damages when the explosion hits an enemy and when it doesn't. Notice how as you level up your ultimate and do more mantra Qs without the explosion, the damage decreases become more and more noticeable. What's unfortunate is that the explosion has a 60% AP ratio, which is nearly half of the 130% AP ratio of the mantra Q. As for Karma's W, trying to snare the enemy at such a close range and having to commit 2 seconds in the enemy's range can be deadly, if you don't have teammates to back you up. So instead of focusing on dealing damage as Karma, we play her as a shield bot. I think of Karma and other enchanters as multipliers. The damage dealers and tanks as numbers. For example, Vayne has a power level of 10, and Karma is able to multiply her power level to an even greater number through her shielding, snares, and slows. So instead of dealing damage directly through herself, she deals her damage through her teammates by keeping them alive for longer so they can continue to deal damage. Positioning. Next I'll be showing you 4 clips of teamfights. I'll let it play out and then I'll go over it again with an explanation of what was good and what was bad. I went in for a pick without knowing where the rest of the enemies were. I burned the Urgot flash, but I got hit by Jinx because I didn't know where she was. I then repositioned around max E range and Q. At this moment, I began autopiloting and stepped in too close. Vladimir saw the opportunity and then he ulted E'd every one of us and then I died for no reason. If I had just stood over this wall over here and not bunch up, I'd be still alive here and be able to continue dealing damage and peeling my teammates. Twitch initiated the fight and I was already behind my teammates ready to peel them. At this part here, yes, I shielded my fed Vayne, but I stepped in too close and got bursted down. Fortunately, I had flash up and survived. I know if I can stay out of range of the enemies, I can still be in the fight, and so I continue to peel my Vayne. Notice here how it looks like I'm doing nothing, but what I was thinking here was, okay, my shield is coming back up, and if I step into the range of the Twitch, I'm going to die. So I just waited outside of Twitch's ult range and continued peeling. Here's an old clip where it shows you exactly what you shouldn't be doing very clearly. I don't even need to bother to explain, and don't worry, it's not your headphones, this clip just has no volume and the same as the next one. Luckily Yasuo is broken and we'd still win the fight anyway. This clip shows what you could be aiming for in fights. In this fight, I'm reacting to what the enemies are doing with my abilities and trying to stop what they want to do while keeping my fed Lucian alive. Right here, I'm staying really far back because I'm expecting something bad to happen. Pre-Teamfight Thinking. Before a teamfight breaks out, I want you to be thinking what recent ultimates or summoners have they used. Has the Gwen used her TP? Has Fiddlesticks altered last fight, so he won't be able to have it up for this one? Does the ADC have flash up? Knowing this and then typing it all in chat will relieve a bit of pressure off all of your teammates because they have one less thing to think about, or an extra opportunity in mind. Next up is, who are the strongest people on your team? An easy one is a Fed ADC, where you can just stay around them and then try to make them survive as long as possible. I'll give a few examples and hopefully it will make sense. If you have a question, please comment down below and I will try my best to clear things up. Before we decide who to peel, we think of how much damage will they be able to do if you use your abilities to make them survive for longer. The answer may not seem obvious because one game you may have a really strong ADC, but the enemy has a really strong assassin. And even through your shielding, your snares and your slows, they still kill your ADC. Each game will be different. Trust your own judgment and you'll get better over time. The enemy's resistances is something to look into as well. If you have a strong AP mid and a strong ADC, but they have built only armor, then you're more likely to choose to peel the AP mid. If you see that one ally is performing so well despite the odds, and whatever factors you can think of, just go for it. This one is very influenced by your own personal feelings. It sometimes may feel like it's the wrong move. Yeah, it's very strange, it's very a personal thing. Now, if you've chosen your priority carry, what things will kill them? Is it the Zed's ult combo? Is it the Mumu ult? Is it the Fizzar? Is it the freaking Zyra E? Is it the Morgana Q? When you figured out what the enemy's threats, then wait for that ability to be used on them and then counter it with your peeling. For example, you see the enemy Fizz throw out his R. Your Jhin is in danger because he's so close. You E your ally and then boom, he's able to dodge it more easily. If you see your priority carry has died, peel the next most valuable champion in the current circumstances. Alright, next time you queue up into a ranked game as Karma, try practicing something that you remember in this video. Try to find a pace where you are challenged by, but not too overwhelmed. Thank you very much for watching to the end, and catch you again next week. Bye.